So, Vlad, I have a question for you. So, it's very expensive to go into a full production. So, why not take the product pictures and then pick up some stock footage and then turn into some kind of a video production to promote the video? Still professionally done, professionally edited, maybe add some animation. What is your take on it?
So you're saying having like a blend of stock footage and your photos? Yeah, I mean, to be honest, sky's the limit in what you can do creatively. What really disturbs me most of the time, even as a shopper, when I just shop on Amazon myself, is when it's done poorly. So when I see images that are clearly stock photo and the product isn't placed correctly, it's distorted, or the perspective doesn't make sense, what it does to a shopper, and since shoppers are savvy nowadays and they have seen good content, they may not explain why, but they definitely understand a difference between a brand that cares of their presentation and brand that doesn't. And so it's disturbing to see something that looks wrong, definitely. And then you start asking questions like, why? Do they not have enough resources? Maybe their product isn't good. Maybe they threw it haphazardly and very fast. Should I even buy this? Should I consider this? I'm not saying that this is like a golden rule, but there's definitely a reason why brands try and invest into professional productions. Now, I've definitely seen a great amount of combinations like you described, as long as they're done well and there's good craftsmanship and still attention to detail. Like, for example, let's take a drink. You can just, in a studio, film a can that is spinning, on a 360 plate. Then you can take whatever stock image of palm trees or the beach or whatever, and basically place that rotating can into that, stock footage. If you do it right, it will look great, and it will not take away from the viewer's experience. So absolutely. So yeah, brands can definitely find clever ways to save on the content.
Yeah.
Here's another.
What I'm hearing from you is really depending on right at the beginning of the conversation, you said something that stuck with me. If you are producing videos for social media, TikTok, Instagram or whatever, get user-generated content, pay a few bucks, even shoot it yourself, that's okay. But if you are creating video, or if you need a video for promoting your product, then obviously the most expensive way to do it is hire an agency that will go through the process of, creating a script, building a strategy, casting and shooting and blah, blah. Or you can have stock footage, stock pictures built with animation and turned into a video also can be done, which will be much, much, much cheaper, but even have that done professionally. That's what you are saying. Do not do it yourself. That's what you're saying, right?
Well, as a business owner, I did content myself. That's how I pivoted from being an Amazon seller to being a service provider, but I had formal training. I had, college education. Then I had several years of freelance experience. I worked on big productions here in Austin, Texas, some national TV commercials and things like that. So I knew the drill. Now, I would argue, depending on the product, even business owners without experience can pull it off. iPhone went a long ways, and you can definitely shoot a 4K video as long as you have good stabilization, even I would argue, as long as you have a good plan and you think about what it is that you're doing, you can be successful. Now, again, it just, what really works great is that combination of where you place your ad and what kind of ad it is. So I'm thinking that even if you're a business owner, you can even self-promote on TikTok. And I've seen it done many ways. I've talked with guys who started TikTok channels and promoted their own products, like supplements, for example. And that works. So there's no right or wrong way. The golden rule is always be testing, always A/B test your content. And I would also say, to that extent, if you are investing money in professional production and you have those nice shots, see if you can negotiate with your media provider or an agency a purchase or so yeah, I would definitely try and negotiate a deal with your service provider or an agency to get the raw footage of a production that you paid for, because these are normally very expensive. Why would you need raw footage? Just because, you have one video, that video may not be bringing you the result that you were hoping for. You need to have multiple versions of that same video, and having the raw footage will definitely help you do that. Also, audiences, they would develop sometimes what is called banner blindness, is when they see something so many times, their mind just filters it out like it doesn't even exist. It's more popular with just, still banners and, photos on websites, but with videos, people can get desensitized as well, especially if you frequently, retarget them in your funnel. So what you want to do sometimes, is that maybe change the first shot or first two shots, or even like change the order of shots. Sometimes it can be as easy as that. That is easily done with product videos or explainers. Of course, videos that have more of a structure, some sort of joke, some sort of storyline that you can't restructure, may be more difficult. But even so, you can always test, and maybe you can create custom graphics. So open the video with a graphic shot of your product. Then maybe you can have a version that shows a person using the product in its ideal circumstance, like kitchen knife used in the kitchen, beautifully slicing some pork or something like that. And then maybe you want to test it with just showing a beautiful shot of your kitchen knife or whatever product that is you selling, just to see which video will have the most, the highest click-through rate. And so, yeah, I would highly recommend doing that and constantly reusing footage. That footage is very expensive, or I should say, the way that footage is obtained is expensive. Production may be easily $15,000-$20,000. So, but you may be able to recut that footage for another 2 years, or as long as you sell the product. You may get some new footage and add old footage, mix and match. Sometimes you can add stock footage and just play with it, or have, if your company is large enough and you have internal department that is responsible for media, have them that footage and have them consistently test the performance. Because in many instances, the performing version may not be the version that you like, but it may be the version that your audience likes. So case in point, show your audience what they want to see, not necessarily what you think, is nice. So,
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is very valuable. I understand this because when you have professionally produced outcome, it is just the result of the materials they work with. Those materials can be rendered in many other ways. So, so your suggestion is extremely valuable because at the end of the day, you're paying for it, you're paying for the production of it, and just ask for it to be delivered. That should be, in other words, part of the deliverables, right?